Hello my crafty crew and welcome back. If you're new, hi, I am Di, this is Creative Comedy Design, and today I'm going to be sharing project life for week 30. Holy moly. So as you can see, I have got my all of my photos and stuff, and I've got the pocket pages from my album, and I'm just going to kind of play with the layout of those. So I think I've got quite a few photos this week, which surprised me because I didn't think I would. But anyway, and I decided that what I was going to use this week was physical stuff rather than the printables. And initially I looked at the Hip Kit Club stuff, and here's the thing. For me, I think for me, a lot of the times I have to go by the feel of the photos and the colors. I want to say the colors. I feel like I kind of color match a bit more than I thought I would. So I kind of look over to one side and I have the Studio Calico kit. I think this is from a summer kit, either last year or the year before. I got it in the sale and I was just like, yeah, let's use that, because it just felt like I'd got a lot of blues and turquoise and that kind of, I'm going to say orangey color because of the floors, and yeah, just a lot of blues and oranges. So I just go with it. I go with it. So I'm going to pick out some of the filler cards, and the journal cards I actually just use, it's actually planner paper. So yeah, I had some, like the 32-pound paper. I'd got a new pack and it didn't quite match the old. It was like a slightly different shade of white. So the last couple of pages that I'd printed, I just cut them into journal cards for this. So yeah, and that is week 30. That's what we're doing. That's what we're using. So let's go over the photos, shall we? So on the left-hand side, we always start on the left. On the top photo there, I've got a photo of the phone box. I got a new phone. I mentioned in a different video, I got a new phone. My old one just started dying. I don't know whether you've seen in the news that the Pixel 6a, which is what I had, the battery, like they've been catching fire and stuff. So they done something to the phone where they limited the battery, and I would literally use it for like an hour and it would be almost dead. So had to upgrade my phone. Now, I do love my new phone, but it's taken a while because every app you have to re-sign in, and it's just taken a while. So that was the top one there. I got the new phone. And then on the middle row, on the left-hand side, there's a photo of Bob at his truck, and we were unloading a laser cutter. So we have a new laser cutter, and I'm saying new one because we already have one, but this one apparently is more, I'm going to say, consumer friendly, as in I could use it. Let's say it could be kind of idiot proof. So that's the plan for the laser cutter, is that I start using it and cutting things out on it. So that's the plan for that, and there's a whole story about that I will put on that middle journal card eventually. Then on the right-hand side of that left-hand side page, on the right, there's a photo of the stuff that I bought at Remainders. So on Wednesday, we went out to Pasadena and we had lunch, which we'll see on the bottom row on the left. And we had lunch at My Vegan Restaurant. It's like a Thai restaurant. We had lunch there, and then we went to Remainders, which, if you remember, is the thrifty craft store. So it's all like used craft supplies. I got some stamps, I got some chipboard stuff. Yeah, I think I spent like $12 or $13. There wasn't a ton of stuff. It wasn't as like good as last time, is what I will say. But I think it is still worth going like every few months. One, it gets us out of the house. And two, we get to have lunch out, which is always a good thing. So that's the photo there. And on the right-hand side page, at the top there, there's a photo of me giving Stella a hug. Cosmo is in there as well, but I was doing some yoga. And you can never do yoga alone in the house. You can never work out alone in the house, but let alone if you're on a yoga mat, you're never alone. So I was doing some forward folds, I was working on some hamstring flexibility, and Stella just sat right between my legs, and it just reminded me of, we used to do a pose in yoga where we'd set the bolster up between our spread legs and you would just like lean over the bolster. It was a restorative pose, and I was like, this is basically the same thing but with a dog. So I set the camera up on my phone, on my new phone. I set the camera up, the timer, and just took a photo. So yeah. And then in the middle there on that top, I reached level 47 in Pokemon Go this week. So I got a little screen grab of that. In the middle row on the right hand side, we'll start off on the left, there is the little 2 by, I think it's 2 by 3.5 photo of the book that I finished this week, which was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. That is the author, the guy that wrote The Martian. If you watch The Martian, this book, way better than The Martian, in my opinion. Again, you know, my opinion, but yeah, way better than The Martian. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So if you're looking for a book recommendation, highly recommend. I will link it down below. But yeah, really good. And I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing the past few weeks, where I take a little 2x2 pocket protector thing and put that there along with on the bottom right. But in the middle, right in the middle of that right hand side page, there's a photo of me and Cosmo. I've got my new baseball cap on and it says Best Dalmatian Mom. So cool. Love it. On the right hand side, in the middle there is a photo of my pegboard and the new addition to my pegboard. Now I've had the little cups, these hold all my pens in rainbow order. I've had those cups for a while, but I had them on regular like pegboard hooks, so they were always kind of like floppy and I was always trying to get them off the board and it was just a pain in the backside. So I knew I needed to get some more of the cups, so I went to Dollar Tree. These are just from Dollar Tree. You get 3 for $1. I went to Dollar Tree, I picked up some more of the cups, and I said to my husband, can we 3D print something that will hold the cups on my pegboard? And so we did a little finagling, and yeah, now we figured it out, and I have a little like pegboard cup hook, because the ones that I'd seen, I was going to buy some. This was on my goals list. I was going to buy some, but the ones that I'd seen were like the cups were only like 2 inches in like diameter. They weren't very big, and the hooks, I couldn't find any of the cup holder hook rings, whatever we're calling them, to hold the cups that I got, because the cups, those cups are like 4 inches in diameter. So I'm just like, I want them that big still, otherwise I'm going to have to get like 3 sets of the smaller ones. So that was the solution. We'll 3D print these ring things and we'll just go from there. And they work perfectly. So I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy. Just one step closer to having this room done. And then you can't see it now, but there's a photo on the bottom of Cosmo. We walk past a couple of times a week. We walk past this area where there's like a little fence, and he spotted a rabbit. It must have been like 6 feet away from us, and he was just beside himself with excitement that there was a rabbit, because, you know, when the dog sees the rabbit, yeah. So I just had to stop and take a photo of him just like being himself, just being himself. And then there's another one on the bottom right there, and that is of the movie poster for Wicked. Finally got around to watching Wicked. So, and it's on Amazon Prime, in case any of you have an Amazon Prime. Yeah, so I watched it on there, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So that was great. I thought that they both played their parts well as the witches, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I love a good musical, so yeah, I was already like, yeah, I'm in. So that is all of the photos, and then as you can see, I've just been like slipping things into the pockets, cutting things up, and then I'm going to start stamping on the title card. So as you can see, I've used the July little circle embellishment there, and I'm going to use my rolling date stamp and put the the dates, like to and from. So I put the date stamps on there, and again I've got a little card here just to see that I'm actually doing the correct dates, because you know sometimes like these technical things, I just sometimes wish I could see it easier. I don't know, but yeah. So we get that done. I put the rolling date stamps on there, and then just start embellishing and doing the little labels for context on some of the photos. So you'll also see that the journal cards don't have any like titles or anything on them right now. So I'm just trying to decide what I want on there, and eventually I do dive into my stamps. I think I use an Ali Edwards stamp, and I just decide that I'm going to stamp a header. And initially I think I stamp in black, and then I come back to it and I'm like, hey, I remember that I have some ink that's in like a colored ink, and it matches the colors of this spread. So I just decide to do it in the color instead. And I'm happy because, you know, I'm getting to use my stamps, I'm getting to use the chipboard, the stickers, all of the things, which is why I love this project. So you can see me here, I'm just going to stamp, I think it's today's story and currently, and then I kind of go into my stash looking for another stamp that is in the same kind of font, but is something else, something different, like a different sentiment is the word I was looking for there, a different sentiment. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to find it. So I go back to the original stamp set, and I think I just put like July Memories or something. So yeah, this is where I decide that I'm going to use the different color. I don't remember what color this is, but it's one of Ali Edwards' stamp pads, and I love it. And this is where I decide that, yep, I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use the color for it. Again, I default to black, and I need to get out of that. So I just got to get out of it and do something different. So I'm going to stamp the headers, and then what I will do is I will go off camera and go and do the writing. And I'm going off camera because my hand is still bad and journaling takes a while. So I just, you know, take it easy. And, you know, sometimes I'll just do a little bit and then go off and do something else for a while and then come back to it and just leave it on my desk. Just leave it on my desk, why not? So finish the journaling. I'm going to put the journaling into the pockets. And then I start kind of thinking, okay, how can I embellish some of these photos? Because I just felt like the white journal cards were a bit, I'm going to say bold. I don't know what the word is. They just felt a little stark. So I knew that I wanted to bring in some white on some of the other photos, because they've got like context of like little journal spots. So I'm just like, yep, I need to bring in more. So if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I did some stamping with my stamps of these little, like I'm going to call them little word strips. So I've got one there that says enjoying. I've got like this chapter, like this is fun, photo of the day. There's all like different types of stuff. So the one I'm going to do here is thankful, and that's going to go on the photo of the laser cutter. So yeah, I'm trying to bring in some white just so that the journal cards don't look as they don't look as out of place as what they do without white somewhere else. So I think I end up putting it on 3 of the photos. So it just ties it all together a bit more. At least I think so. Your mileage may vary. So yeah, so I'm just going to do that on a few of the photos. I'm going to put the chipboard on, and I do staple the chipboard to the photos. You might have seen that earlier. I'm using my little tiny attacher to do that. And then I start to work on all the other stuff. So I knew that I wanted to do the little 2x2 page protectors. You've already seen me put those on. But what I've been doing is, because that's where my book and I'm going to call it my media, the media that I've consumed that week. That's where that goes. So I make a little kind of fold out for the book, and I just do the same for the movie. And that will just have all of the journaling about that behind it. And yeah, I've just been loving it. That's all I gotta say. I just love it. It's the silliest little thing that makes me so freaking happy. I love it. I love going through and just being able to flip and pull and take things in and out. I just love it. I love this project in general. You'll see me here do a little tidy up because I nearly there's usually a little pile to the right hand side of other stuff that I'm working on, and I nearly knock it all on the floor and frighten my dogs to death. So again, I've gone off camera here to fill out the journaling, but those media things, the book and the movie, do have journaling in, which you can see, like I show you briefly on the flip through at the end. So I'm going to put on these little alpha and numbers, and you can see me here, like I get the little Cricut tool. This is the issue that I'm having with my hand. I can't, there's this, like this one little motion of just trying to pick up stickers, and like, yeah, it just really hurts my hand. So I'm trying to get these stickers, these alpha stickers off, and it's just a week 30. So I'm just going to put that on the title card, and then that's it. I call it done. That's all I need. I call it done. And these alpha stickers are from Hobby Lobby. They're from Hobby Lobby, I'm pretty sure. And I literally bought them on a whim about 6 months ago because they were on sale. And yeah, they come in very, very handy. So here's a close-up. As you can see, everything's in the pockets. Some of the photos don't have any context to them. That's okay. They're obvious from the journal cards. And you can see there, I've done all the journaling. Same with the Wicked photo. All of those, all the little journaling is inside. And I do put a 5-star rating in there as well. So those are my pages for week 30 of Project Life, which is just crazy. I know I said this a couple of weeks ago when we kind of went into the second album, but oh my, time is flying. Time, my friends, is flying. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. We'll have more memory keeping projects coming. All right, bye.